this evening, and our guest speaker is Jackie Jones.
How you doing?
Our topic for tonight is the fear of death. It's a very hot topic. So we have Jackie Jones, again, who missed the show earlier. She's going to explain and talk a little bit about herself first.
Okay, once again, some people call me Reverend Jackie Jones. Some people call me Principal Jones.
Yes, she's our principal.
So I wear a lot of different hats.
Yes.
You know, but one of my most passionate hats is when I do ministry. And a large part of, I was talking about purpose, a large part of my purpose is to help people find their purpose. I love it. Help people walk and maximize their full potential in life. That's a large part of my purpose and what I do. So being asked to come here today to talk about the fear of death will give me an opportunity to sort of share with individuals about, not just being afraid, but being able to accomplish what you've been called to accomplish before we all die, because it's a natural place in which we all have to go. Yes.
It's true.
Very true.
Yeah.
Well, how can you tell a little child about death to break it down to them, for them to understand?
Good question.
Very good question, but I think it's something that's important for us to do. I was sharing before, I think for myself growing up, watching horror movies like Amityville, like I mentioned before, I grew up being afraid of the boogeyman, being afraid of the ghosts, because when the ghosts die, they come and they haunt the house. So that has been my understanding. That's been my understanding growing up. So it is, it was hard. But I think that for little children, we have to share the cycle of life.
Yes.
We are conceived, we are born, but everyone must die. And it's the cycle of life. So what we want to share during that time, that we all are here to fulfill a destiny, to fulfill a purpose. And some people go a lot sooner than others. We have some people who have been through some things, and you wonder, they're still alive? And then you wonder why others are taken. Living good lives. Why were they taken? These are questions that, unfortunately, we don't all have answers for. But what I was sharing before is, I have to believe that the God that I serve and believe in is sovereign. He knows it all. And some people go before others. We don't have all the answers. But my faith is what gives me the strength to keep on knowing that I have to trust God. And what happens, I have to trust Him. And for someone who may be emotionally distressed, going through the death of a loved one, it is hard for them to even have a relationship. Well, God, how could you do this? Well, how could you take this person now?
Yeah,
how could you take this child?
Yeah, some people get angry.
They get very, and that's a natural reaction. So I don't want people to feel that that's something bad.
Right.
It's not bad. You're human. And as a human being, we have emotions, we have feelings. So as a human, it is natural now to be angry with God. Like, we don't understand why would this happen. It's natural, but at the end of the day, we learn that God is sovereign. And at the end of the day, God knows all. And one day, when it's my turn, and I go to heaven, I say, God, could you please explain this to me so I'll have a better understanding?
He's going to run the real. He's
Right.
going to show everything.
But the most important thing is your relationship with God.
Yes. Very true.
That's
Very,
it.
very true. Oh, my goodness. So for a mother to have to, or a mother, or a parent, or a father to bury their child, I know it must be an extremely hard thing. What I often think within myself is that because I am a believer in Christ, I think of Mary's pain of seeing what he went through. And then I also think of our sovereign Father's pain for so loving the world that he gave his son to suffer this for my silly sins. So I look at those things in that kind of perspective, but that's just my perspective, and everyone doesn't view it that way. But it has to be a really hard pill to swallow to say farewell to your child. My mother, God rest her, she had to do that with both of her sons. It was very hard, but she was gracious with it because she had a relationship with Christ. So that was a different thing. But if you don't have the relationship, or if you can have a relationship, still be upset about a matter, especially if it's sudden. Ooh, that's hard. So you have to. Sometimes the situation will make you seek God for an answer, for comfort, for peace, to get through the situation.
Another way to think about it is like things happening for a reason.
Oh, all things happen for a reason.
I mean,
Absolutely.
particular things can lead to incidents like God, like let's say there's something like a child did pass away, right? And then someone sees that story, or someone hears about what happened. They can open the door for you to open another foundation.
Absolutely.
Or help other people who have gone through what you've gone through. So basically, you're like a testimony to them. Like if your child passed away of cancer or any type of disease that no one really heard about, right?
Yeah.
You can be that testimony of like, well, because my child has went through this is a bad way of thinking about it. Because my child has went through this, I'm able to explain to you of the different type of symptoms or the different type of things that you can do to help them get along the process, or ease up the process, or even cure the child or that other individual, the child or that adult, from whatever you're going through.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's sad that you see a loved one pass away, but you're able to give them better feedback of what to do and how to do it.
I mean, I'm going to just piggyback on one or two things. First, Yvette, you were talking about it's your relationship with God and your mother's relationship with God that helped her through the death of her children. I want to talk about that because that's, to me, is one of the most key elements of all.
Absolutely.
It's having a relationship with God. Many people say, okay, well, it's about church. No. Church is a place where we go to fellowship. The most important thing is having a relationship with God.
That's the key word.
That is the key. People get that confused. They say, well, it's, we go to church. No, church is a place of fellowship where you go to grow, you hear the word, you fellowship with others. Your relationship with God is the most important thing. And how do you get a relationship with God? Because if I'm not going to tell you that's the most important thing unless I tell you how to get that. So how do you get a relationship with God? Well, if you turn in the Bible and the scriptures in the book of Romans, it simply tells you something very simple. And I think people make it so grandiose, but it's very simple. It simply says, if you declare or confess that you believe that Jesus Christ died and rose again on the third day, it says you will be saved.
Amen.
That's the beginning of your relationship with God, is you believing. And that's how it begins. And that's all it is. People make it difficult and you gotta go through this. No, I'm going to break it down to you. Okay? You just have to believe.
Believe.
Confess, believe. Confess everything you done did in the past. I messed up, but now I want to get it together. And believe. And then you know what? You begin to have conversations and talk to God. God is my shopping partner. I go to the mall. I be looking at the shoes. God, what do you think about these shoes? He's my best friend. Okay.
Wow. Shopping partner.
He's my best friend. So people think, he orders my stuff.
Yes.
So because I have this relationship with him, it gives me the strength to not be afraid of things. And one of those things is death, because I know that he's in me. I'm given purpose.
Yes.
I have a purpose in my life.
Yes, we all must have a purpose.
That's right.
In our life.
And we all do. He said that we are predestinated. We're predestinated. Before the foundation of the world, if you choose to believe the Bible, I choose to believe the Bible, it says that we are predestinated. And I remember reading that when I was young, like my 20s. And it sparked something like, wow, really? That's why the child is named Destiny. That's why I named my daughter Destiny, because we are all predestined. It had nothing to do with the music group. God bless my life. But I named it because I believe that got deep in me. Like, yeah, we are predestined. It has nothing. One could say, "Oh, I planned this." No, you was planned before the foundation. Before the foundation of the world.